What's up you guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to make this video pretty brief and pretty quick because today's a book haul day and we have a lot of books to get through. I'm looking at them and I'm intimidating myself, and I know you guys don't want to watch an hour-long video, so without further ado, let's do this. First book is actually my current read, and I've heard so many things about this book. It's overwhelming to even think about. I heard the characters are dark, the plot is compelling, it's super slow, but you're drawn in. That is The Secret History by Damansara. Now, I had already bought this book a year ago. It was the gold cover edition. I had already seen this floating around Bookstagram, so I was like, okay, where is this cover? Not at my local Barnes & Noble. So a year later, I order it from Book Depository. Thank you, Book Depository. This is not a paid promotion. They did not give me this book. I just went to their website and bought it. But I bought this edition, and now I'm more motivated to read it because I just think it fits me. It's very dark, like me. The story behind this is these kids are at this elite New England college, and they discover this way of thinking that's out of this world, and they start becoming evil and doing evil things, and it's challenging normal morality. Now, this is not a book that I would normally pick up, but I couldn't even resist this one. And it's good to just branch out. I had to branch out. So I'm gonna read this. This is my current read, like I said. I haven't read a single word. I'm still stalling. Don't judge me. Okay, so the next book is more my speed, more my type of book I would read, and it is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Wong. Now, I don't think I read too many contemporary romances, but I do read romances, but contemporary, not so much. So I went outside of my comfortable box and picked this one up. I think I saw this one floating around Bookstagram too. Honestly, the majority I saw floating around Bookstagram. Well, maybe a little less than half. Just a little. So this is about a girl who is really good with math, really good with numbers and algorithms, and she has Asperger's, which is, honestly, I really haven't read about a character who deals with Asperger's. I had to look it up because I forgot what that meant. She hires someone to pretty much teach her how to be intimate, teach her how to kiss and all this wonderful frilly stuff. She starts falling for this guy, and she wants more. She wants to feel it all with this guy. Now, it's a pretty short read. This might be like a 24-hour readathon type of book. I don't know. It sounds really cute. And after I read this, I'm probably gonna be obsessed with contemporary romances. I'm okay with it. Okay, so the next book on the list of all the books that I bought, The Au Pair by Emma Rouse. I saw this on Bookstagram. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful cover, so simple. I really like the beach background and the big word. I really like the cover. It was technically a cover buy. And if you don't know about cover buys, I won't believe you, because we all know that we buy books based on covers sometimes. So this is more of a suspenseful type fiction book, and it's about this girl Seraphine and her brother Danny, and they were born on the Norfolk coast. Their mother threw herself off of a cliff after their birth. I'm not giving spoilers, that's what the back says, I promise. Now that they're older, their father has just died, and they found a disturbing, unknown, mysterious picture in their father's belongings, and it's raising a bunch of questions because there's a baby in that picture. Just one baby, and not the twins. Is your interest piqued? I think mine is. So, The Au Pair, Memoirs. Okay, so the next book is falling under the fantasy category, which, like I said in my recent video, I'm just now getting into, and I'm so glad I did. Thank you, Bookstagram family. The next book is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Now, if you haven't heard of this book, I'm so sorry. This book was everywhere. And it is about a girl who is in an arranged marriage by her father and obviously doesn't want to be married. And there is this once a year performance to get an invitation to go to, and she finally gets her invitation. And things get exciting when she goes to this little once a year performance. It really all becomes a game. Love and magic and lies and fun things. Remember, it's only a game. Is it really? I'll find out soon enough. The next book is more of a historical take on something that really happened in this region of the world, and that is Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. I studied geishas in high school and maybe a little bit of college. A little bit. It was mentioned maybe one time, and I was hooked. If you don't know what a geisha is, it's a Japanese woman that is looked at as pretty much sex symbol. They're these beautiful women who are sold to the highest bidder, and it is told from the point of view of one of the most infamous, most known geishas in the world. I'm honestly a little nervous to read this one, but I think I'm really gonna enjoy it. I don't really get into the fiction literature, which I should, being an English major, which is another reason why I picked this up. Might have to be required reading, you never know. Memoirs of a Geisha. Excited for this one. The next book isn't really a fiction. It's not fiction at all. It's not prose. It's poetry, and it is Flux by Orion Carlotto. Once again, cover by. Big time. I saw pictures of this, and I did not know it was a book. It looked like just a big card, like a tarot card. You just flip it over. That's what it looked like on the internet. And I was like, oh, it's a book. Poetry, once again, just getting into poetry. I maybe have now 3 books of poetry. But this is a beautiful cover. Beautiful. Obviously gonna read this within 10 minutes. But I love poetry now. The next read I am super excited for because it is a psychological thriller, and it's one of my favorite genres. After reading The Woman in the Window, hooked forever. That is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. Look at this cover. The Woman in Cabin 10 looks like you're on a ship or a plane and it is raining like crazy outside. I can't. You have no idea how excited I am to read this book, The Woman in Cabin 10. I am ready for this. I'm trying to be brief, you guys. I don't want to take away all your time in the day. I'm trying to be brief. So the next book is fantasy, and I think everybody on the entire planet has heard of it or probably read it, and I haven't. And that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I picked this up after I bought A Throne of Glass, which I read, which I'm not going to speak of right now because it's irrelevant. But I think this is gonna be a pretty good read for me. If you've read it, I already know, like half of everybody and the entire planet has read this book, and I'm the only one who hasn't picked it up, but now I have, so I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I hear it's a take on Beauty and the Beast, but it's not a Beauty and the Beast type of take. I've heard too many things to even just give an opinion, but I did read the first chapter after my reading slump, which it didn't help me get out of my reading slump, but I read the first chapter, and it's just the first chapter. I am going to read this. I don't know when, because I bought the second one also, not even knowing if I was gonna like this one. And the second one is way bigger and way longer than this one. I was like, this is almost 400 pages. If not, it is 400. And the next one is way more than 400 pages. But according to Thorns and Roses, I'm looking forward to this one. Angel my many days. Oh, oh. The next book is, I think this book was pretty big deal last year, 2 years ago. It's a movie now, and I haven't seen it because I haven't read it, and that is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I saw the trailer on Bookstagram, and I saw who was playing the lead character, and I said to myself, okay, let me go to Goodreads and save it because I love who they picked. I didn't even read it, but I was already so happy with the actress that they picked for the role of this character. My cousin told me that this is so good. It's like the book Everything Everything. Didn't read that. I watched the movie though, and that was pretty good. Oh god, the cover's so nice. It's so pretty. I was just ecstatic to see who they picked as Natasha. That was my big thing. I was happy. So, The Sun Is Also a Star. I bought this, I think at the beginning of the year, after I saw that trailer. So I'm really excited to get into this. The next book I saw around Bookstagram. I actually follow this author on, she's a pretty new author, and I follow her on Instagram, and I've been pretty much following her journey on writing this novel, so I figured I had to get it. Rough Animals by Ray Del Bianco. Now they say that this is, you know, this book is pretty much for fans of Breaking Bad, which I think I watched one episode of and never finished. I don't know why. It wasn't bad. I just never got around to watching that again. But I knew I wanted to support her, and I've heard nothing but good things about this book. It's definitely different from what I normally read, but I'm more than willing to give this a try. This is another story about twins, but it's set in like rural Utah. And honestly, this synopsis got me thinking how much I don't read things like this, but I am excited for it. Okay, next book is, this was a suggestion from someone on Bookstagram when I was asking for some new fantasy books to read. Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I had seen this book in Barnes & Noble 3,000 times, but never really considered getting it because I wasn't into fantasy back then. But now I am, so ha ha ha, I got it. Touch is lethal. My touch is power. She crossed it out. It's not lethal, it's powerful. I love that. So already I'm hooked because you can't touch this girl without dying. So they imprison her. She starts to fight back for her freedom, for her life. And I am all about powerful heroines who for some reason are just looked at as the most dangerous things on earth and are locked up for it, which means you're afraid. I am for this type of trope. All day, every day. Her last one, is it her last one? Is it the last one in the series that just came out? I don't know, but the next one in the series came out a couple days ago, and I was even excited, and I haven't even read the first one, so I'm really excited to get into this. It's really pretty. Trying to contain my excitement for the next one because it's contemporary romance, and I'm not gonna say it was a cover buy. It was more of, I read the synopsis and it made me kind of think of my life. But it is The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. So this girl, Nicole, is a freelance writer, and she's been dating this guy for not that long, and he proposes to her at a baseball game, and she says no. No spoilers. That's what it says right here. And at the game, this man, Carlos, comes to her rescue and kind of just, let's go somewhere. I can't stop smiling because I'm so excited. It sounds so cute. Oh my god, I'm so excited to read it. I'm actually reading this after The Secret History because I know I'm gonna need a fun and easy read after I get done with The Secret History, from what I've heard. I'm gonna need something light and easy like this, and I'm super excited to read this. I'm sorry, can you just get makeup on it? Oh my god! Oh, come on. The next book I think I saw on Bookstagram. I haven't really seen this book floating around too much. I think I've seen it a couple times. But I read the synopsis and I was hooked. Because it's another powerful heroine trying to be exactly what she's meant to be, which is a powerful woman. And that is To Best the Boys by Mary Weber. Now this story is about this scholarship that you have to get an invitation to win. And it's only eligible for boys. This girl wants this scholarship. So I think she pretty much pulls a Mulan move and says, move over boys, I'm coming in this. And I'm gonna win this scholarship. Fair and square, even though I'm a girl. Could I roll my eyes any harder on that? Yes, let me try it. Honestly, this girl is badass. She's literally going against the grain. She's going against what everyone says and everyone thinks, and she's breaking the rules to prove a point to everyone and prove a point to herself. I'm a girl and I'm just as good, maybe even better than these boys to get this scholarship. And I'm gonna let you watch me do it. I'm sold. Okay, the next book is another movie adaptation. I don't think it's out yet. Oh, I almost dropped it. It's After by Anna Todd. Now, if you know Anna Todd, she started as a Wattpad writer. And if you know Wattpad was where it was at. That was the place to read everything. I don't use Wattpad anymore, obviously. But she became so big after she wrote this story and put it on Wattpad. It became a Wattpad hit. And I like this cover a little better than the original one with the turquoise blue clouds and the pink letter after. I really like this cover, but I didn't read this story when it was on Wattpad. I don't know why, since it was a big hit. But this is about this girl, Tessa, and she's, you know, sweet, innocent girl. She's a college freshman. Yes. And she meets this cocky, arrogant, conceited British guy. And sparks will fly. And when I say fly, I think you know what I'm hinting at based on the cover. But I'm excited to read it anyway. Oh God. I'm almost done, guys. We're getting towards the end. We got maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 10 more. That's not bad. I'm trying to breeze through it for you guys. I don't want to spend too long on this. It might be boring to some of you. Next book is a favorite of all. It's another book that was made into a movie a while ago. And I watched the movie before I read the book. I had no intentions of reading the book. It is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and I know I'm super late. I'm super late on reading this. I watched the movie again on, I think it was on Netflix. It was either Netflix or Amazon Prime, I can't remember. But I watched it again and I remembered it was a book. And then I thought, okay, well, I might as well go pick up the book and see if it's better or if it's worse. This book still floats around on Bookstagram. I see it all the time. But I've mostly been seeing her other series, The Lady Midnight. And I went to Goodreads to look that up. But I realized maybe I should start with this series first. So I picked up City of Bones. I'm obviously going to enjoy this. I really enjoyed the movie. I feel like after I read this, I might not enjoy the movie like I thought I should have or would have enjoyed the movie. But I'm excited to read this one. Okay, so the next book is another cover by. I've never heard of this book, but it was a cover by. And then I read the synopsis and it pulled me in a little. It is Desperate Girls by Laura Griffin. This is about a defense attorney named Bryn, who she's probably the toughest prosecutor you will ever meet. She's got the wit, she's got that sharp tongue, she's got the words. She's probably the best attorney you'll ever meet. One of her cases, the murderer that she helped prosecute comes back and starts a killing spree again. Bryn needs to start running for her life. So she gets the help of a cop or detective. Is a detective? Secret Service agent to help her. And obviously that's going to start a love story, but it's not just a love story. It's also very chilling. Have a murder spree going on during the entire book. So I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, so the next book I think I saw, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've seen most of these on Bookstagram. This is a fairly new fantasy book, and it's pretty large. It is Courting Darkness by Robin Lefevers? I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Lefevers. It's by Robin. Look at the pages. My mom was so confused when she saw this. She was like, is there something wrong? No, it's just how it's made. Saw it on Bookstagram. Hurry up and put it on my Goodreads want to read list. So this girl, Sabella, is a death daughter. Oh. And she's trained to pretty much fight and serve justice and all this stuff. So the family that she's serving, when I think they betray them, and she tries to protect her younger sisters, she flees to France with the Duchess, and they're surrounded by enemies. Whoa. I don't think I read the synopsis completely when I first got this. This is pretty deep. Look at the cover. What is that, a dagger? The wolves are always waiting. Whoa. This is a pretty big book. And I think this is the first. I don't know if it's gonna be a series. I think it's gonna be a series. I'm here for it, Robin. Okay, the next book is another contemporary romance, and it reminds me of the other ones, The Proposal and Kiss Quotient. This is The Hating Game by Sally Thorns. If you don't already know, you can't tell, two people hate each other and they fall in love eventually. Probably one of my favorite tropes to read about. They're both CEOs at a publishing firm. Yes, publishing company. Oh god, I just love the hate to romance trope. Honestly, it's my favorite, and I never get tired of reading it. Okay, so I bought this off of Amazon, and I accidentally bought 2 of them. I'm gonna take the L on that, but good thing my friend wants the other copy, so I have someone to talk to about this when I finish it. It's gonna be a nice summer read. Alright, so the next book is another cover buy. So I can't really tell you much about it, but it is called What We Buried by Kate Borman. That was a pretty cool cover. And then the back, that was pretty cool. I liked how they did that. But this is about siblings who are polar opposites. The girl's a reality TV star and like a pageant queen. And are they twins? Okay, no they're not. I feel like I have a lot of twin books. And the boy has a partial face paralysis. And he was pretty much the black sheep of the family. So the girl, she sues her parents for emancipation. But the day of the hearing, their parents disappear. So they road trip to find them, and during the road trip, things come out, secrets are relinquished. I don't really know. Well, it seems like it's about truth and lies and identity, because their faces are missing and there's a desolate road and their faces with a person standing there. But it was a cover buy, so I hope I enjoy this one. Okay, the next book I am so excited for because it is one of my favorite author's books, and I don't think I've read her books in a long time. It is Poison Princess by Kresley Cole, and I am obsessed with Kresley Cole. I think I have 30 of her books sitting on my shelves right now. This is definitely different from her other books. She does paranormal romances, and I think she has a couple of contemporary romances. If she does, I don't have them. I mostly have her paranormal romances, but this is about a girl named Evie, and she suffers from hallucinations and visions about the world pretty much ending. So she teams up with this guy to pretty much race to save the world. Basic trope, but it's Kresley Cole, so I'm more than willing to read just a trope that's everywhere. She's one of my favorite authors. If you don't know Kresley Cole, I would definitely recommend picking up one of her books. She has an array of them. You can't run out. Okay, the next book, a cover buy on Amazon, and it is That Month in Tuscany by Ingloth Cooper. And she's an award-winning author. I expect good things. I always expect good things from books. Rarely am I ever disappointed. There's always something you can like about a book. Something. Beautiful cover. Beautiful. So this woman, Ren, her husband stood her up after their anniversary trip, and she meets this guy on a plane, and he's a rock star, and they spend a month in Tuscany. And they are complete polar opposites, and they spend a month together and realize, even though they have nothing in common, they still find something each other that is worth having. The cover drew me in so much. That's why it was a cover buy. But I'm excited for this one. We are down to the last 3 books. Half of me is really sad that I didn't buy more, but the other half is really happy because I bought enough. This wasn't really a cover buy, but I did like the synopsis, and it is Stay With Me by Jennifer Armentrout. Now this is about a girl who's pretty much hasn't lived her life. She's never been kissed. She's never seen the ocean. She's always been stuck in the house with her mother, who has a lot of problems of her own. Her mother is caught up in really bad things, and Kala, it's the girl's name, she has to drop everything and go find her. And she's apparently missing, so she stops by the bar that she owns, and she meets this guy whose name is Jax, and he gives her a job to help her mom pay for the things that these guys are coming after her for. I read something similar to this last year. I don't remember what that book is called, but it made me think of that book. So that's why I picked this up. The next book is a book that just came out not too long ago. Came out this year. It was half cover by, half I liked the synopsis. And it is More Than Words by Jill Santopolo. Beautiful. It's a beautiful cover. So this girl, Nina, is the epitome of a good daughter, and she's raised by her father, but her father unfortunately dies, and it shocks her to her core when she finds out. So after her father dies, she starts to see the men in her life in a different way, in a completely new light. And I'm curious to see how she looks at them now after her father's died. I haven't heard anything about it. Didn't see it floating around Bookstagram. I found this myself, probably looking for something to buy. So I'm actually really excited to read this because I like the idea behind this book. Last but not least, I've seen this book around Bookstagram. I still see it. Gorgeous cover. Gorgeous. The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Now, this is about a girl and her mom who live a life on the road, and they find out that her grandmother dies on her estate called the Hazelwood, and then her mother gets taken by supernatural creatures. So she makes friends with her classmates to pretty much save her mother from these supernatural creatures. Stay away from the Hazelwood. So I already know that there's going to be a hoopla of supernatural creatures just running around, and she's got to go save her mom from these things. Really nice cover. Did you see the inside? Oh my god. It's just a pattern, but I would love to have that on my wall. But I'm excited to read this one. Hey you guys, so that was my book haul for not this month, but since the beginning of the year. So this is like a 2019 book haul. I know I'm probably gonna buy some, oops, hold on. I know I'm probably gonna buy a few more because I did save some to my Goodreads and in my cart on Amazon. So I'm definitely gonna be buying some more before the year ends. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you guys later.